Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So it's Rivals of Ixalan week here in Instant Deck Tech land, which means every single day this week we are looking at a deck that is featuring cards from Magic's newest set. However, we're still sticking to our schedule, which means it's still Modern Monday, even though it's Rivals of Ixalan week. The good news is we have a super sweet Rivals of Ixalan influenced Modern deck to check out. This is Blue-White Miracles. Comes to us from Counterbalance Top, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a small tournament. So congrats to Counterbalance Top on a super spicy Modern deck. A quick reminder before we break down Blue-White Miracles for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So, Blue-White Miracles, if you're not familiar with the archetype, was a big thing in Legacy for a long time until Sensei's Divining Top was banned, but it hasn't really caught on in Modern, even though the two key Miracle cards, Terminus and Entreat the Angels, have been legal in the format for a long time. So Terminus, 6 mana, kind of sweeper that deals with indestructible stuff because everything goes to the bottom of the library instead of the graveyard. However, you can Miracle it for a single mana, so it's a 1 mana Wrath if you can draw it off the top of your deck and cast it in the same turn. Entreat the Angels, on the other hand, is the deck's primary finisher, so 3 white and double X, so 5 mana you get 1 angel, 7 mana you get 2 angels, to make a bunch of angels. However, if you Miracle it, the cost is absurd, 2 and X, which means for 5 mana, instead of 1 angel for the non-miracle cost, you get 3 4/4 flying angels. That's a lot of power and toughness in the air for just 5 mana. And if you have 7 mana, or 8 mana, or 10 mana, you just get a whole board full of game-ending tokens. You can even do this at instant speed if you have some tricks to draw instant speed. So considering how powerful the two miracle cards are, why is it that they never really caught on in Modern? The problem is, in Legacy you have cards like Brainstorm. You had Sensei's Divining Top to manipulate the top of your deck. We were missing that in Modern, but things changed with the addition of Rivals of Ixalan with Riverwise Augur. So Riverwise Augur probably isn't a card that you thought, I bet that's going to be a Modern playable. But it's basically a Brainstorm, essentially, attached to a 2/2 body. Yes, it's 4 mana, it's really expensive, but it still lets you Brainstorm, which means if you have Terminuses and Entreat the Angels in your hand, you can cast Riverwise Augur, and you can put those cards back on top. Your next turn, you know you're going to draw that Entreat with Angels to finish the game. You know you're going to draw that Terminus to finish out the game. The big thing with Riverwise Augur is it's not our only way to manipulate the top of our deck. We also have Telling Time. Telling Time, super key because it lets us basically put one of the top 3 cards of our deck back on top of our deck. We get 1 in our hand, 1 goes to the bottom, 1 stays on top. So it lets us look 3 deep to find the Entreat with Angels, to find the Terminus. So Riverwise Augur lets us put cards from our hand back on top. Super important, something we were really missing in Modern to make Miracles work. Telling Time lets us kind of dig through our deck and do that. We also have Serum Visions and Opt, and both of these cards are important for different reasons. So Serum Visions is just turn 1, get things set up. When we cast Serum Visions, we get to scry 2, which in theory lets us set up our Miracle for the following turn. Opt, on the other hand, is very different. It still cantrips, still lets us set up the deck in the early game, but the big deal with Opt is it gives us a way to draw our Miracle card at instant speed. So let's say we get things set up with a Riverwise Augur to have a Terminus on top of our deck. Our opponent goes for the big attack, we can just cast Opt, draw the Terminus. Even though Terminus is a sorcery, we can cast it for its Miracle cost. If it's the first card we drew for the turn, whether it's our turn or our opponent's turn, it breaks the rules of timing. So we can just opt during our opponent's attack phase when we're about to die and cast that Terminus, or opt on our opponent's end step to make a huge board full of Angels with Entreat the Angels. So opt is basically a way to cast our Miracle cards at instant speed once we get them set up, while Serum Visions is more about setting up our Miracles, kind of like Riverwise Augur and Telling Time, but a little bit less powerful. The rest of the deck, Path to Exile, early game removal, Remand, a counter spell, keeps us cycling through our deck. We also have Snapcaster Mage and Search for Iskanta. Snapcaster just lets us remove all of our paths, our Serum Visions, our Ops, all that stuff, gives us a chump blocker, can even beat down if we have to. Search for Iskanta, another way to just dig through our deck after we get our graveyard fill, a great late game card advantage engine. We also have Celestial Colonnade, shifting to the mana base as our backup finisher. So if our huge Entreat the Angels isn't going to work for some reason, we can kind of play the control game, kill our opponent's stuff, get through their resources, and then beat down with our 4/4 flying land. We have Ghost Quarters and Field of Ruin, so 5 lands to deal with Tron, opposing creature lands, a bunch of basic lands, some Flooded Strands as a fast Glacial Fortress, some Hallowed Fountains. In the sideboard, bunch of counter spells to force through our Entreat the Angels, our Terminuses, protect our stuff, disrupt our opponent. Elspeth's Sun's Champion as a backup finisher, Blessed Alliance, basically kind of just does it all, gets rid of an attacking Death Shadow, for example, can gain us some life against burn, a little bit of everything. And then we have a bunch of targeted hate cards. Stony Silence for Affinity for Tron, Core Firewalker for burn primarily, Canonist is our sideboard card for Storm decks, and then Surgical Extraction for graveyard decks, and that is Blue-White Miracles for Modern, featuring Riverwise Augur from Rivals of Ixalan, finally making the archetype possible. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.